so my inbox is a lot less full. And then if you want to watch the replay, you can watch it on YouTube. All right. Welcome to the Lion's Den. My name's Robert Love. I'm a neuroscientist. I specialize in prevent Alzheimer's disease with science. If you are here and you're an evolving lion, give me a roar in the chat. Now, what is an evolving lion? It means that you are committed to your personal growth and evolution, that you want to help your friends and family, that you're here to be supportive and loving to other people in the Lion's Den. And we look to our evolutionary past to inform our present. So what did our ancestors eat, for example? That's a really good indication. And you like lion's mane. Why lion's mane? Because lion's mane helps grow new brain cells. I believe lion's mane is going to be one of the tools that a lot of professionals use to protect their brains as they age, and also their clients as well. If you have a question, please put your first name and ask your question. I'm going to go through as many questions as I can. This is going to be a short live, but I'm going to blaze through as many questions as I can. You used to work for Disney. Awesome, Melena. And if you're just arriving, please put your first name and where you are from in the chat. 500. Okay. So here's a great question. Please put your first name when you ask a question. So TikTok cock block. 500 milligrams magnesium citrate too much. I recommend magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate is more bioavailable. Have I heard of methylene blue? Yes, I haven't tried it, and the research is promising, but it's not overwhelmingly good. By the way, it's cold where I am in Cincinnati, Ohio. The heater just went out, so I have like the space heater in my room, and I'm drinking a hot chocolate here. I have this great hot chocolate recipe. It's so good. Number one supplement to prevent Alzheimer's disease. If I could only choose one, it'd be exercise. If exercise could be a supplement, a pill, it would be the best-selling supplement in history. It's absolutely exercise. After that, it's a toss-up to what's impacting that person. So if that person has really low levels of choline is a precursor to acetylcholine that's involved in making memory. It's involved in memories. It might be alpha GPC. If they have high levels of homocysteine, it might be B complex. If they don't eat any fish, it might be fish oil. If they have high levels of inflammation, it might be curcumin. So I gave you some hints there. It might be a B complex. It might be fish oil. It might be curcumin. It might be lion's mane. But if I could do anything, if I could recommend one thing to prevent Alzheimer's disease, it's absolutely exercise. Thank you for helping. You're welcome. Roar to you, scrunchy face. Roar K. All right, Gemma, schizophrenia. Can you discuss this sometime? I'm not an expert in schizophrenia, and so that's all I can say as of right now. It is related to dopamine. I learned a little bit about in college, but I'm not up to date on the schizophrenia research. There is research. I did learn this from the Tim Ferriss podcast. He had this Harvard professor on who talked about how mitochondrial dysfunction is related to schizophrenia and all kinds of neuropsychiatric disorders. And so it could be a mitochondrial dysfunction. That's really interesting. All right, Cheryl, Louisiana, Jessica from Albuquerque, Susan, how to take lion's mane. Yeah, so I like Life Cycle lion's mane. That's a high quality lion's mane. I'm coming out with my own lion's mane supplement very, very soon. I'm just working on the website right now. And lion's mane, I like to take it at night before I go to bed. It improves sleep and gives me really cool dreams. And take as instructed on the bottle. If you want to start right now, you can get Life Cycle. You can get that on your favorite online store or from Life Cycle directly. It's LIFE and then CYKEL. What milk do I recommend? Kelly from Michigan. Thank you for using your first name, Kelly. So I recommend not using dairy, especially in the United States. Cows are not native to the United States soil. They're native to Europe and Africa. And so I would trust cow milk from over there more. Buffalo are native here. It's a really good idea to eat foods that are native to the area. That's just more natural. Secondly, our cows are not well taken care of in the United States, and so I don't trust dairy. And third, about 40% of Americans are lactose intolerant, and so most of us, at least a good chunk of us, don't do well with lactose. And lastly, milk can bind to bioflavonoids that are healthy. So these are the bright colors in plants, like the blue in blueberries, the red in strawberries, the dark in coffee. So if you put milk in coffee, you get less of a benefit. If you drink milk with blueberries, you get less of a benefit. So I recommend not drinking dairy milk for a variety of reasons. The next thing to do is what to replace it with. Well, choose one that you like. I recommend almond milk or coconut milk. I'd start there. Those two are really good. I would avoid oat milk if you can. It's very high in calories. And it will knock you out of ketosis if you're doing the ketogenic diet. This is almond milk heated up with a little MCT oil. and 2 scoops of Vital Collagen's protein, chocolate protein. It is a delicious hot chocolate. So almond milk, some people think it lacks fat, relatively speaking, so it doesn't mix that well in coffee. What you can do is you can blend in a little bit of MCT oil or coconut oil. That really fleshes it out. So I'd recommend almond milk or coconut milk. John's pick TikTok. John from Colorado, Patreon member last night. Oh, thank you so much, John. Thank you for coming to Patreon patron. And I'm going to drop a new video soon on the specific supplements I take for immune function. I'm going to release that to the Patreon patrons before sharing that with the whole channel. If you've thought of becoming a Patreon patron, there's 2 bonuses for you right now. One, I share where I get my aniracetam from. That can save you a couple hours of research online. If you want to do aniracetam, I've done a couple of videos on aniracetam. I'll answer your questions later if you have questions about it. Number 2 is I'm putting together, I just made a video, I think it was yesterday, about the specific supplements I'm taking for immune boosting supplements right now in the winter or during cold and flu season. I want to share with you the brands that I take before I post a video on it, because we actually sold out, you and me together, we sold out the fish oil that I like on Amazon, which is really impressive. And so I don't want to tell everybody the exact supplements I take before I give my Patreon patrons an opportunity to get those before they sell out. So thank you, John. Deborah on YouTube. Deborah from Iowa. Is Mary Ruth Organic Lines made a good one? I don't know. I think Mary Ruth is a good company if I'm familiar with Mary Ruth. So it could be. Give it a try. See how you feel. See if it affects your dreams. Allison from Canada. Well, hello. Kaylin from Indiana. What multivitamin do you recommend? I don't recommend a multivitamin. Multivitamins have a couple problems. I recently did a video on this. It was a little controversial because people disagree with me, which is fine. Disagreement's good in science. So I don't like multivitamins, number 1, because they don't have enough magnesium. Number 2, they often don't have enough zinc. Number 3, they often have too much copper. And number 4, they often have too much iron. Now, if you are vegan, you might want an iron supplement. But most of us get plenty of copper in our diet, and these supplements have too much copper. Too much copper can create oxidative stress and damage in our brains, especially for lacking zinc. Most of us are zinc deficient and copper rich, which is why zinc supplements are really helpful. So I don't like multivitamins because it's kind of like a quick fix that doesn't get you what you need. I'd recommend taking real control of your supplementation and getting individual supplements. So right here is a magnesium supplement. I put this in my water throughout the day. This is these aren't in a multivitamin. This is glycine. I take this before bed. This helps me regulate my body temperature and helps me sleep. So I'd recommend not doing a multivitamin. If I had to choose one, if you're only going to take one vitamin, it's only going to be a multivitamin, it could be beneficial. Thorne makes a very good multivitamin. It's very expensive. And so instead of doing the Thorne multivitamin, I'd recommend using that money and getting a zinc supplement, a magnesium supplement, a vitamin D supplement, and taking 10,000 IU of vitamin D. By the way, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. Check with your medical doctor before doing anything that affects your health. And this is just what I do, and I'm sharing the science with you. According to the research from University of California, San Diego, humans can take 10,000 IU, international units of vitamin D a day, and that's a safe, healthy amount. More than that, we don't know if that's safe, but that amount's safe. So that's my answer, Caitlin. I don't recommend multivitamins. If I had to choose one, I would choose Thorne, and I would recommend really looking at the supplements you need and then getting those. My guess is, if you're like most people, you would benefit from an alpha GPC or choline supplement. Most of us are deficient in choline. 90%, 90, are deficient in choline, according to the Journal of Nutrition from 2019, I think. So choline, zinc, magnesium, those are things that most of us need. I would start there. Most of us get plenty of vitamin A and vitamin C in food. Also, vitamin C, great thing to supplement, specifically vitamin C during cold and flu season. Today I'm taking 6 grams of vitamin C. That's a lot. It's 3 teaspoons of vitamin C powder. And vitamin C powder is very, very inexpensive. People say, "Oh, you have expensive urine." No, I don't. Vitamin C, I'm getting a 1 kilogram bag for $20 that's going to last me 6 months. So 6 months divided by 30 times 6, we'll call it 600 days. No, it's not 600 days. So 365 days divided by 2. We'll say 150. 150 days, $20. What's that a day? It's pennies a day. My urine is not that expensive because I take high doses of vitamin C. So don't let people pull that on you. If someone says, "Oh, a lot of vitamins, that's just expensive urine." Well, that's only the water soluble vitamins. There's 2 water soluble vitamins, B and C. The other ones basically stay in your body. Minerals can also get flushed out. And it's good to excrete vitamin B and C. It means your body has enough. That's a really, really good thing. You don't want to be deficient either vitamin B or vitamin C. Really problematic. All right. So Mar from Pennsylvania. Mom has early onset Alzheimer's disease at 62. I'm 38 and her primary caregiver. I'm so worried about getting Alzheimer's. I've been on gabapentin for 30. You've been on gabapentin for 30 years at age 8? Really? You or your mother's been on gabapentin for 30 years. That's a long time. Did they really put you on gabapentin that early? That's wild. Mars, would you give me some more information, Mar, on YouTube? Wow, you've been on gabapentin since age 8. This is fascinating. Let me look up some more information about gabapentin. I know what it does, what neurotransmitter it acts on. If you want to learn about a medication you're taking, search the name of the medication and search neurotransmitter and see what it does. Oh, by the way, drugs that block acetylcholine increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease by 46%. If you take a drug that blocks acetylcholine and you take it for 6 months, according to a meta-analysis, which is an analysis of different papers, that increases the risk of Alzheimer's disease by 46%. Now, people started responding. I put up a video on this. They responded, does this drug block acetylcholine? I invite you to do your own research. Type in any medications that you have and type in neurotransmitters and see if it affects acetylcholine. Or go to your pharmacist and say, pharmacist, I'm taking these 3 medications. Do any of these affect acetylcholine? How do they affect acetylcholine? So take charge of your own health. Understand what the drugs that you take do. I remember I was talking to a married couple, 2 doctors. One's a pediatrician, one was a obstetrician. And the obstetrician had cancer. And he said, they got me on all these cancer drugs. I feel terrible. I said, well, what do the drugs do? He said, I don't know. I said, you don't know what the drugs do that you're taking? He said, no, I don't. And you feel awful? Yes. Wow. I mean, if I felt awful, I was taking drugs, I'd find out what the hell they did and see if they're necessary, see if there's a different replacement. Then I turned to his wife. I said, doctor, do you know what his drugs do? She said, no, I don't. I said, wow, aren't either of you curious as to what the hell your husband's taking? Well, sir, why don't you know what you're taking? Fascinating. 2 medical doctors. I was just amazed. So gabapentin is a derivative of GABA. GABA is a neurotransmitter. It's the primary relaxing inhibitory neurotransmitter. So GABA and glutamate are 2 major neurotransmitters. GABA is relaxing, glutamate is stimulating. So gabapentin increases GABA. So let's what about GABA long-term use side effects? Long-term use side effects. So all I'm doing is going into a search engine, typing in the medication and typing in long-term use side effects and see what comes up. Now, I recommend you consult. Please don't change your medication. Medications, you definitely want to consult your medical care provider and your pharmacist, your psychiatrist, whoever prescribed them. Tapering or changing your medication without the instructions of a medical doctor or psychiatrist can lead to very, very bad results. Tim Ferriss talked about some people he knew were suicidal after changing their medication without proper instruction. So please, please, please be very careful and don't change medications without doctor prescription. Long-term side effects of gabapentin. Drowsiness, dizziness, poor coordination, fever, mood changes, anxiety. Okay, so gabapentin's an anxiety drug. It looks like long-term usage can lead to anxiety, memory loss, depression, behavior changes. Serious side effects include tremors, abdominal pain, weight gain, blood pressure, anxiety, aggression, temporary amnesia. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to get these, Mars. I don't know what symptoms you have. Oh, you wrote a bunch. Yes, I got blood clots in my lungs. I got severe anxiety. Gabapentin since 2003. My sister and my sister think they have Alzheimer's from opioids and fentanyl. Yeah, that's really hard. Hi, Melina. I'm sorry it was 20 years. I've been on it, not 30. Okay, you've been on it 20 years. So this is really important. So first, I want you to take power into your own hands and look up what your drugs do. Don't change your drugs without talking to your doctor, but look up what they do. Next, look up the side effects of taking them. This is an important piece to know. According to this is greenhousetreatment.com. This is just the first website that came up. I don't know what this website is. If this were me, if I were taking this drug, I would look this up on a couple different websites to make sure all the information confirms. So unfortunately, taking some drugs long term can have negative consequences. Like this is an anxiety drug, and it increases the risk of anxiety over time. And my guess is, Mars, after taking this for 20 years, it'll likely, if you want to get off of it, it will be a long process. If you were to go off of it right away, my guess is you'd probably have some very serious withdrawal symptoms. So definitely don't do that. If you want to get off of it, work with your doctor. I don't recommend you get off of it. I don't know what's right for you, but taking most drugs long term have consequences. If you look at Adderall, I'm prescribed Adderall. I was prescribed Ritalin in 3rd or 4th grade. And I started taking Adderall when I was a sophomore in college, and I've been prescribed it basically since then. What are the long-term effects of taking amphetamine? Adderall is amphetamine. What are the long-term effects of this? Turns out a couple things. One, it can impair sleep. It can create anxiety, low weight, like low eating, because amphetamine decreases appetite. And another thing is that taking Adderall long-term actually increases the risk of Parkinson's disease, and not a huge amount, but some. And I found that out a couple months ago, reading the literature. And so that's another side effect. So is that important to know? I think so. Is it a big effect? No, it's not. It increases the risk slightly, but there's an impact to taking pharmaceutical drugs long term. Okay. So Mars, I hope that's helpful. You're going to talk to your primary doctor tomorrow. Awesome. Have an appointment with them, and then ask them if you're experiencing memory loss. If it's due to that, they probably won't be able to tell you. But see if there's. I don't know what the right thing is for you, but if you have memory loss, I would ask your doctor if this drug is contributing to it. It looks like it could be, and if there's safer alternatives, or if you can begin to taper off under their supervision. I don't know what's right for you. Definitely consult with them, but see what else can happen. All right. More questions. We're doing rapid fire questions. What supplement do you take every other day? Oh, first, thoughts on peptides. Love peptides. They're great. I have some chronic shoulder pain from when I moved a very large bookcase. Two things I have a lot of are art and books. And so when I was moving this giant bookcase, the next day I had shoulder pain, and it's been there for 4 months now. And so I'm looking into peptides, specifically BPC 157, to help. Now, peptides are fascinating. You can learn a lot by just searching peptides, or reading blog articles about peptides, or read Life Force by Tony Robbins. Do I have that? That's over here somewhere. His book talks about peptides. Peptides are very safe, effective tools to promote optimal health, longevity, energy. It can promote healing, like healing pain or healing a wound. And they can increase brain function, sexual function, vitality, all kinds of good stuff. You want to be careful where you get your peptides. You want to get them from a licensed compound pharmacy, and you'll probably need a prescription from a doctor who can write prescriptions to get them. I don't recommend buying them online because the quality is unknown, and you don't know. It's dangerous if you are taking something that you don't know what it is. So I don't recommend getting it offline. You are welcome, Mars. What supplement do you take every other day? Coffee is a great example. Caffeine. Caffeine's a great thing to cycle on and off every other day. Where do you get Lion's Mane? You can buy it on your favorite online store or direct from Life Cycle. And then I'll let you know when I get mine. West Tennessee. Well, hello. Barbara, what brand and where can I purchase Lion's Mane? Life Cycle, CYKEL. Just search that. From Kathy. your take on my take on something. Sorry, Kathy, I need to know what you'd like my take on. Crystal from Michigan, thank you for putting your first name. If you're going to ask a question, please put your first name, and I so appreciate it. Crystal from Michigan, do you recommend lion's mane, mushroom powder, or capsule? So I definitely recommend eating lion's mane mushrooms as often as you like. They're delicious. They're kind of expensive, but they're gosh darn awesome. And research out of Singapore shows that those who eat 2 servings of mushrooms a week have, I think it was a 40 or 50% reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. Very, very cool. Actually, let me look this up. I know enough to be able to find this. So I'm going to search Singapore mushrooms Alzheimer's. Singapore mushrooms Alzheimer's. See if I can find the study. Research from the National University of Singapore found that participants who ate more than 2 servings of mushrooms, more than 2 servings of mushrooms a week, equivalent to 300 grams, were 57% less likely to have mild cognitive impairment. Mild cognitive impairment is actually pretty severe memory loss. It's those who have mild cognitive impairment have a 500%. Is it 500? I think it's 400% increased risk of getting Alzheimer's disease over the next 5 years. So it's significant memory impairment. If someone has mild cognitive impairment and let's say you live with them, this person has memory loss. So 300 grams or about half a plate of mushrooms a week reduces the risk of mild cognitive impairment by 57%. Very cool. So I definitely recommend eating mushrooms. Now, aside from that, I recommend taking a lion's mane supplement. Why? Because you want to get lion's mane most days. I'd say I take a lion's mane supplement 5 or 6 days a week. Lion's mane increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is a growth factor that facilitates the growth of new brain cells and new neural connections. This is a big deal. Exercise does something similar. Exercise also increases BDNF. And research from Kirk Erickson found that seniors who exercise, do aerobic exercise, it actually grows their brain. It actually increases hippocampal volume. So what they did was they had 2 groups. They had one group who did exercise, and they had one group who did stretching. I think it was a 6-month study. And then they took brain scans of them before and then after 6 months of exercise or stretching. Those in the exercise group actually increased the hippocampus, which is the memory center of their brain. Amazing, right? So exercise actually helps you grow a bigger brain for elderly adults. For those who are younger, it may not increase brain size yet because the brain hasn't shrunk yet. So in elderly adults, their brains may have already begun to shrink, excuse me. And so the exercise may have grown them back to their healthiest level. Very cool. Maybe not their healthiest level, but begin to grow it back up. So I recommend taking a lion's mane supplement and eating lion's mane. I like Life Cycle lion's mane supplement. It is it's in the liquid form. If I come down to Orlando, let us know. Why, thank you, Milena. I appreciate that. I'll be in Miami soon. TikTok Jamie, haven't mentioned K2. No, I haven't. Is that a question? What would you like me to say? K2 is great. It's important for cognitive functioning as well as bone health. Hi, Annabella. Colleen, supplements recommended for ED. Is that erectile dysfunction? There's one that's really good for that. It's also good for, aside from Viagra, it also is good for weightlifting. What is that? An amino acid. Is it L-arginine? I think it's L-arginine. L-arginine. 74% of erectile dysfunction patients improved with L-arginine. So L-arginine is an amino acid. You can tell it's an amino acid when it starts with an L. So L-theanine is an amino acid found in green tea and black tea. L-tyrosine is an amino acid found in protein that's a precursor to dopamine. L-arginine, I believe, increases nitric oxide activity. Nitric oxide basically helps expand blood vessels. And so think of a blood vessel like a garden hose. So with exercise or things that increase expand blood vessels. It's vasodilation, so it goes from small to big. Vasorestriction shrinks them. So coffee contracts blood vessels, and so it increases blood pressure by shrinking the blood vessel. And then exercise actually dilates the blood vessel, vasodilator. L-arginine does something similar. And so with vasodilation, it increases the ability to get an erection. So that is pretty cool. And then there's also a cool article on Healthline. By the way, Healthline is one of my favorite resources for health-related information, healthline.com. And there's an article, Erectile Dysfunction, L-arginine, Get the Facts. I like their stuff. They cite a bunch of research in their work. It's very cool. So L-arginine is where I'd recommend. And I'm not a medical doctor. Check with your medical doctor. Yes, Milena, Life Cycle. That's exactly right. Milena on YouTube. Milena, is that the same one? Milena on YouTube and on here? Would one of you respond? Let me know if that's the same one. Oh, and also exercise. Exercise is really good for erectile dysfunction because it improves heart health and decreases stress. A great way to get erectile dysfunction is to have a lot of stress and put a lot of stress on getting an erection. So if you reduce stress, that can really help. Moringa tea. I haven't had moringa tea. I've heard good things about it. Magnesium that contain all types. Sorry, I just lost my magnesium. Hello, Bernadette. Nice to see you. Amino acids to take daily. It depends on what you're doing. So instead of think amino acids, think supplements. What supplements do you want to take daily? You might want to take L-tyrosine if you want more dopamine. You may want to take more L-theanine. I take L-theanine pretty regularly. Here's the one that I take, Nature's Trove. I take this at night to help me sleep. I don't take L-arginine, though if I were exercising now, I would. It increases blood flow, and that can be helpful during exercise. Why, thank you, Lizzie. I so appreciate that. Oh, by the way, if you'd like to send me a message, the best way to send me a message is on my Instagram. Same handle as this, Robert WB Love. And also, please follow on YouTube. This live is on YouTube, and you can watch the replay. Sorry, I'm way behind in the comments. What type of mushrooms? Any mushrooms. According to the research from Singapore, any mushrooms, 2 servings a day. Alcohol, it's in relation to Alzheimer's. It increases. Alcohol is bad for the brain. It's bad for memory. It's bad for sleep. It's bad for gut health. It's bad for inflammation. It's bad for liver health. If you want an in-depth report on alcohol and the brain, Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist from Stanford, has a podcast on it. Mushrooms can feed candida? I don't think so. These are edible mushrooms, not medicinal mushrooms. Medicinal mushrooms are ones that contain psilocybin, and they have medicinal properties. They can help end addiction, which is gosh darn important. Hello, single mom of 2 on a budget. What would be a must? Well, it depends what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to lose weight, that's one supplement. If you're trying to prevent Alzheimer's disease, that's another supplement. If you're trying to get your kids to calm down so they can go to sleep, that's another supplement. So I would need more information as to what to recommend. If you're nutrient deficient, which most of us are, you might want to supplement that first. Hello, sweet helper. Well, hello. Not enough space to type everything. My comments are floating around separately. Well, then type as efficiently as you can. It's your best shot of getting a question. Just came in. Mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms. 2 servings of mushrooms a day reduces the risk of Alzheimer's by 57% from a research from Singapore. On Lexapro for 12 years, found it made me tired, started 5-HTP. How's that going? Is that helpful? 5-HTP is a precursor to serotonin, and that can be helpful for a lot of people. I'm surprised that more medical doctors and psychiatrists don't prescribe 5-HTP instead of selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Both of them increase serotonin, and also exercise. Exercise is a great way to reduce depression. Or community service. Someone comes into the office and says, I'm depressed. Life is meaningless. Great. Go volunteer at the homeless shelter. You will not feel depressed that night. I remember when I was in grad school in Texas. This is my first year. And there's a soup kitchen nearby that I could walk to. I remember my first time working there. And I was feeding people. And I actually brought a friend with me. And on the walk back afterwards, I said, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I get to go back to my little student apartment and there's food in my refrigerator and that I have a home tonight. Wow, I'm so very grateful. And I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the process of helping people in the soup kitchen, and I enjoyed the after effect of just deep gratitude for what I have and the life I get to live. And so I'm surprised that that's not prescribed more for people who come into a doctor's office with depression. Like, depression's real. So let's get you feeling good things. Go exercise, clean your body out. Exercise is medicine for the brain and body. It'll help you sleep. Sleep's important for a healthy mind, healthy body, healthy mental status. And do some community service. Feed the homeless. That'll cure your depression. Goodness gracious. Man, it might not cure it. It will help. Where do you get curcumin? Buy it at your favorite online store. You want to look for curcumin with black pepper or piperine, ideally organic. Hello, I have a question. Do you have any recommendations for tremors? Yes. A great thing that you can do for tremors, this is backed by research, is the ketogenic diet. Let me explain. This has been known for almost 100 years. Children who had epilepsies, who had seizures, they put them on the ketogenic diet. A third of them would get better. A third of them would get entirely better. And then a third, there would be no benefit. So 2/3 of children got benefit from going on a ketogenic diet. This has been known for a very long time. And so check with your medical professional about this. And there's tons of data on this. I recommend the documentary Fat. I think it's Fat Number One. It starts off by showing these children on a ketogenic diet who are helped by it and then don't have epilepsy anymore. It's a darn big deal. And this is actually talked about on the Tim Ferriss show with this doctor from Harvard. Let me look up his name. He was very cool. He's a Harvard psychiatrist. Tim Ferriss. His name was Christopher Palmer, Dr. Christopher Palmer. He was just on Tim Ferriss's show, The 12th. So I listened to it maybe a week ago. It's a very, very good podcast. And he shared, one, a lot of mental issues are actually mitochondrial disorders. And two, they talked about the benefit of the ketogenic diet for a lot of disorders. Very, very cool. All right, I'm going to see how many more questions I can answer here. Dana, can you cook the mushrooms? Yes, please cook them. Most mushrooms are safer to eat cooked. Some of them aren't safe to eat raw. Both, I would recommend eating lion's mane and taking capsules, but definitely get the supplement. It's just a lot easier. Is there a daily dose of lion's mane? So lion's mane is one of these things where some capsules will be more concentrated than others. So it's not as simple as take 100 milligrams a day. Some of them are a 2-to-1 concentration. Some of them are 5-to-1. Some of them are 20-to-1. And so it varies. So I take as directed on the bottle. That's the safest way to do it. And lion's mane generally is very, very safe. I'm not saying it's unsafe if you take it differently than the bottle, but it's a really good idea to take supplements as directed on the bottle. That's going to ensure that you get a good result, or help ensure that you get a good result. Taking too little or not enough, or taking too much, who knows what's going to happen. Amy from Ohio, do you know about Dr. Schultz products? I do not. I might. A friend of mine might have showed them to me. Is this like an old school kind of catalog? I don't know much about them. How's B complex helping? Well, B complex does a variety of things. Vitamins B6 and B12 are involved in helping make neurotransmitters. That's a darn big deal. Low amounts of B complex can lead to high levels of homocysteine, and high levels of homocysteine increase the risk for Alzheimer's disease and cardiovascular disease. B complex is also involved in energy, so you want to make sure you get enough. How does the lion's mane mushroom taste? It tastes awesome. It's totally awesome. Chop them up, saute them in some avocado oil. They taste, they kind of have a meaty taste to them. They're great. So you can use these if you're vegan or vegetarian, use these in a taco, for example. So get a gluten-free taco shell or taco wrap. Saute your mushrooms, have your seasonings, try it in there. It's delicious. Jackfruit also works well. Jackfruit tacos. I had a vegan roommate for 2 years. I learned a lot of recipes from him. I have a cake recipe that's just killer. By the way, I'm coming out with a healthy recipe book with a weight loss expert. We have some killer recipes, and this chocolate cake's in there. It's amazing. I'll let you know when that's up. Deanna. Oh, please use your first name when you're commenting. Thank you, Deanna. Deanna from Mississippi. Is gabapentin and the supplement GABA the same thing? No, they're different. Gabapentin is a pharmaceutical. GABA is a neurotransmitter that naturally occurs in the body. Gabapentin is meant to, I think it mimics or increases. Gabapentin is meant to increase GABA activity. I don't know if it mimics it. So if like by swallowing GABA, does that then be gabapentin? Does that become GABA in the synapse, or does it increase the release of more GABA? Let me find out. It's an interesting question. What does gabapentin do? I might not find the answer. It might gabapentin do. Gabapentin is used to treat epilepsy. Gabapentin stops seizures by reducing abnormal electrical activity. GABA reduces the excitability of nerve cells, which play a role in seizures. Gabapentin mirrors the effects of GABA, calming excited neurons. So it says gabapentin mirrors the effects of GABA. So my guess is, in order to be certain, I'd want to talk to someone or read specifically what it does. I think gabapentin mimics GABA. So as another example, we'll take heroin and cocaine. When I was my second year as an undergrad, I loved the study of drugs and neurochemicals. It was so interesting. So cocaine increases dopamine, but it increases the release of dopamine. Heroin mimics endorphins. So it pretends like it's an endorphin in the synapse, and it stays in the synapse much longer and creates this really intense pleasure. Cocaine doesn't mimic dopamine. It causes the release of more dopamine. Does that make sense? So one mimics and one just increases activity of a certain neurotransmitter. Gabapentin, I believe, mimics GABA. So it kind of like it pretends that it's GABA in the synapse, and the synapse recognizes it as GABA, and then it has that calming activity. Does that make sense? It might be more technical than you wanted. Cherry from Birmingham. Any suggestions for tremors? Yes. The ketogenic diet, and then the fast, the great documentary is Fat Number One. Elisa from YouTube. Thoughts on best low-cost peptide company? I don't have one for you. I will let you know when I do. That's a great question. If you find a great low-cost peptide company, let me know. Love the painting. Thank you. The painting behind me is Gaia by Min-Jae Lee. Twisted colon, need advice. Oh my gosh. Please seek immediate medical help. That sounds awful. Vitamin E, Cialis, anything for loss of sense of smell. If it's from long haul virus, it often comes back. It depends what causes it. I don't know. Just like in beets. Yeah. Beets can have L-arginine, or beets increase nitric oxide. Any amino acids take daily. Kathleen from Virginia. How do the lion's mane mushrooms taste? Amazing. Garden hose was a great analogy. Thank you. L-citrulline too. What can I take without prescription for high stress job that causes bad anxiety? I'd recommend considering a new line of work. Life is too short to be doing work that's high stress and causes anxiety. I know that's easier said from my position than from your position. You probably rely on your job for money and for something to do, and maybe insurance and all kinds of things. Tim Ferriss talks about this in his book, The 5-Hour Work Week, or The 4-Hour Work Week. He says a job that you don't like, that sucks your life force energy, is not worth considering. And that's an interesting perspective, because I believe we were created as human beings, as divine creatures, to live a divine life, whatever that means to you. And I think we were meant to do work that we enjoy, that we're good at, that contributes to society. And if your work doesn't do those things, I'd recommend you look for something that does, because life is it's a journey, not a destination. And it would be awful for you to spend so many years of your life working a high stress job that causes anxiety to try to get to a destination at the end. And there's no destination at the end. It's just the end. what you really want is every day is to love your life that day because of who you get to love, the relationships in your life, uh, the art, the music, the beautiful things you get to enjoy, and then the work you get to do, the contribution you get to make to the world. And so please don't spend your life doing work that's not serving you. And when work, it sounds like work that's sucking your life force energy, that's taking your health. Anxiety and stress is one of the primary causes of chronic disease. There's tons of research on that. And so that's my sincere thoughts, user 7829. Aaron, you are you are easily the most fascinating person on TikTok. Why, thank you. I so appreciate that. Thoughts on CMOS. Um, I forget what CMOS does. Look this up real quickly. Healthline has a good article on CMOS, I think. I don't remember what it does. Health benefits. Known as Irish moss or red seaweed, type of seaweed grows year round. Health benefits. Kim Kardashian talked about it, from everything from skin to the immune system. But what does it do? It may help with Parkinson's disease. That's interesting. I wonder how. May improve the immune system. Nutrition. It's got B vitamins in it, magnesium and zinc. So it's healthy. So I don't know. This is just one article. This is a WebMD. WebMD is one of the most conservative health things. Let's look up CMOS Healthline. CMOS Healthline may support thyroid function, immunity, may improve gut health, may support weight loss, may promote heart health. Sounds like it does something with inflammation. It sounds like it works on some big mechanisms. Let's see here. 4 tablespoons. It's a big serving of anything. Uses, potential benefits. May help with fertility. By the way, coenzyme Q10 can help with fertility as well. Downsides. So there's not good data on this. There's a lot of speculation. Scientists need to do more research. And so there's just not enough long-term research. And I don't know the mechanism. No, neither WebMD nor Healthline have shared a mechanism. If it works on all these different things, it sounds like it either contains a nutrient like magnesium or zinc that's helpful. I don't think it contains enough of that to make that big of a difference, or it works on a major pathway like inflammation. So that's my answer to CMOS. There's not good data. Milena, it's you. Hooray. I just skipped a bunch of stuff. Sorry. Multi-mushroom supplements. What are your thoughts? Probably good. It depends on the quality. Depends on who's doing it. I like Paul Stamets. I like his company. Who likes Paul Stamets? Give a roar to Paul Stamets. Paul Stamets is one of my heroes. He rocks. Do I like the company Life Extensions? I haven't tried their supplements, so I can't speak about them. Are mushroom coffee products good? They can be. Give them a try. See how you feel. Be your own self-experimenter. Do it in a safe way. But if you read Dave Asprey's books, and if you read a great book is called The Body by Bill Bryson, a lot of early scientists were experimenting on themselves and their family. Seriously, there's this great story of this man who unfortunately did not have. Well, I'll leave his politics aside, but he found an artery that went directly to his heart. And so he was sticking something in his arm, and he kept pushing it, and then it came into his heart. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I actually got to the heart from this blood vessel." And then he walked around the hospital showing people, "Look, this blood vessel goes directly to the heart. Look, I stuck something there." So there's a lot of self-experimenters. I'm not saying do that. I'm simply saying when you buy a supplement, notice how you feel. Be cognizant of it. Also ask your body, say, "Body, do you like this supplement?" And see if you get a response. Your body's actually quite intelligent, and it will tell you stuff. It'll tell you, "No, don't drink that," or "Yes, I want that." Right? Especially if you have overcome an addiction to caffeine or cigarettes or alcohol. Let's say you're alcohol free. Look at alcohol and be like, "Body, does this serve me?" I'm holding up a cup here. "Body, does this serve me? Do you want this?" See how your body response. I don't recommend drinking if you've given up alcohol, but just see what your body's response is to it. A lot of people have averse reactions to cigarettes after giving up cigarettes. Like, no, I definitely don't want that. Right. So, um, any supplement or food product you take, see how you feel, see how you like it, see how your body responds to it. Diana, is taking a vitamin for pain and inflammation harmful long term? So, generally speaking, vitamins aren't harmful long term. I recommend cycling on vitamins and supplements 5, 6 days a week on, and then at least 1 or 2 days off per week. One day off is good because you want to give your body a chance to live without a certain supplement or drug. For example, if you're taking caffeine, I definitely recommend taking 1, 2, 3 days off a week from caffeine. That's just because caffeine's fun, right? Who likes caffeine? Who likes the rush of caffeine? By the way, caffeine is the most used drug on planet Earth. Number 2 is alcohol. Number 3 is nicotine. Number 4 is cannabis. Human beings like caffeine. We like the effect of caffeine. It feels good. It feels fun. It's a rush. It's invigorating. And if you drink it every day for the rest of your life, that effect is going to go down. It's going to feel less good. And if you like the effect of caffeine, which most humans do, a great way to preserve that and keep sensitive to that is don't have it every day. Also helps reduce the dependency on it. And you can still have decaf every day. That is rich in polyphenols as well. So you get benefits from that as well. So Diana, to answer your question, I don't know of any. Oh, so taking supplements for pain and inflammation, long-term for the liver. If you're drinking enough water, generally speaking, most high quality supplements are not going to cause damage to your liver long term. What causes damage to your liver long term is chronic use of alcohol and sugar. The body treats alcohol and sugar the same. The liver has to filter out both of them. And fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, is caused by overconsumption of sugar. And so if you want to protect your liver, 1, you can take a milk thistle supplement. That's really good for your liver. Number 2, drink plenty of water. That's good for the liver and kidneys. Number 3 is get a fluoride filter. That's that way you remove that contaminant from your body so your kidneys don't need to filter it out. Number 4 is reduce your sugar and alcohol intake. That will help protect your liver. Thoughts on mud water? I haven't tried it. People seem to like it, and mushrooms are good for you. Love caffeine to focus on important exams. Absolutely. Does lemon juice break a fast? If there's no calories in it, there's no sugar in it. No. So you can have lemon juice without and still get the benefits of fasting up to a certain extent. You can also have MCT oil. You can have coffee without any calories in it, and that'll break a fast. But if you add here are the things that break a fast: protein and sugar. Protein spikes mTOR, mammalian target of rapamycin, or mechanistic target of rapamycin, depending on who you talk to. And increasing sugar increases blood glucose and insulin. Both of those will take you out of a fasted state. So if you're not consuming either glucose or protein, you can stay in a fasted state. Now, I don't recommend eating just a ton of fat all day. You'll get disaster pants. But you can have some fat, and then you can have something like celery, like a little bit of celery, and then you got that fiber, and fiber is very filling. So what I'll often do when I fast is I will do coffee in the morning with some MCT oil, and then I'll have a bite of celery and some soluble fiber, the stuff that dissolves in liquid, like acacia powder, organic acacia powder, and then I'll be able to fast until dinner. And usually it's really easy to fast. I feel very, very full. Tinnitus. So tinnitus, one of my favorite pharmaceutical drugs for tinnitus is Hydergine. It was discovered by Albert Hoffman, who also discovered LSD and psilocybin. Real true hero. He actually said that the best use of LSD was microdosing, and he wished that more people were exploring the benefits of microdosing rather than macrodosing. Macrodosing, the world becomes reality becomes distorted, and it's not very sustainable to do long term. Whereas microdosing can have really, really helpful benefits. He found doing short term and long term microdosing, and a lot of people that I've spoken to individually, they've been able to get off other drugs doing microdosing, even some ADHD drugs. It's been helpful. And ADHD drugs, as I mentioned, they can be really powerful drugs. They're amphetamine. At least Adderall and Ritalin and Vyvanse, these things are basically amphetamine. And those are hardcore drugs. And so reducing dependency on hardcore drugs, like these are Schedule II narcotics, by the way, which means they're like the second most regulated drugs available. getting off of those or reducing the need for those is really great. Also, aniracetam has helped a lot of people get off of Adderall. And some people have written into me saying either, taking low dose nicotine or aniracetam has helped them stop taking ADHD medications, and they're doing great. So that's very cool. So Albert Hoffman discovered LSD and psilocybin. He also created a pharmaceutical called Hydergine, spelled Hydergine. Hydergine. Hydergine helps with tinnitus. It also increases blood flow to the brain, which is very, very cool. And a friend of mine from Burning Man, he severed his hand. I don't remember exactly. We'll imagine his palm got severed and he had trouble moving, let's say, these two fingers. So he could not go like that. He took a bunch of Hydergine. I don't recommend doing this, but he took a lot and he was able to regrow his nerves, and he now uses his hand without any impairment. Amazing. Hydergine helped regrow neurons in his hand. Very, very cool. Hydergine, I think it was a prescription drug. I tried to get it. My doctor wouldn't give it to me. Hydergine. It might be available without a prescription in the United States. I don't know. But if you have tinnitus, so Hydergine, you can look this up on WebMD. How to use Hydergine, usually 3 times a day. Talk to your doctor. So you might be able to get this from a doctor. So if you have tinnitus, see if they will give it to you. It's very, very safe. It's got other benefits aside from helping end tinnitus. So it's very cool. All right. It is 10:34. I'm actually going to end early tonight. I so appreciate these comments. This was really fun doing a rapid fire commenting with you and answering your questions. This was great. Real quickly, I want to go over some of the free resources that you have available to you. First, if you want to send me a personal message, you can follow me on Instagram and you can message me there. Right now I see all of those messages. That might change as I get more messages, but you can certainly find me there. And then I share some of my TikTok comment or content on there as well. If you want, a lot of you ask questions about supplements. My free report, my top 10 supplements, that is available on my Linktree. Everyone know where my Linktree is? It's the link below my profile picture on TikTok. And so my free report, my top 10 supplements, that is there for you. That's something I put together. I want you to know what supplements I take, why I take them, the brands I take, and where I get them. So that way you have that information. You can get some really high quality supplements. I don't have relationships with any of the companies in that report. I just wanted to tell you what I do. And that's a great place to start. A lot of people are overwhelmed with information about supplements. And I boiled it down for you so you can choose 1, 2, or 3 on there and just get started. Taking healthy supplements can really make a big difference if you take the right ones that are going to be helpful for you. And I wrote down what works for me, do what works best for you. And of course, check with your medical doctor. Some people have asked about sustainable weight loss. This is not for everyone. This is only for those who are committed to losing the weight and keeping it off. You've tried other things. And you want to do something that's going to work and work long term. Chad Tackett, who's one of the world's leading experts in weight loss, he has opened up some more slots on his calendar for you, for us, for the Lion's Den. Now, this is for people who are committed to weight loss and are going to show up on time for their call. And this is basically this is a no charge session with a certified weight loss coach. There's no charge for this session, and you get a free weight loss blueprint in the session. And then if you want, you can then ask for ongoing support and join Chad's program. You don't have to, but this is an opportunity for you to learn and get your personalized weight loss roadmap and get you started in the right direction. And the certified weight loss coaches are great. Some of them have degrees in nutrition science, and one of them has a PhD, I think, in nutrition science. I don't know what it is, but she has a PhD. So these are really highly qualified weight loss coaches. Where if you're serious about losing the weight and keeping it off, by the way, great way to not only improve your health but also improve your longevity and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease is weight loss. Why? Because losing weight helps reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a significant risk factor for Alzheimer's disease. And sadly, 40% of Americans are obese, 70% are overweight. So a lot of people need this. So if you want that, that is the first link in the link tree. That is Chad Tackett free weight loss roadmap. Please only sign up if you're serious and please show up on time. Next is the free masterclass, How to Prevent Alzheimer's Disease. I record a 45-minute masterclass. This is a free resource for you. Just click the link, sign up on the page, and then that'll take you to the masterclass. You can watch that for free. And then if you want to work with me, I specialize in helping people prevent Alzheimer's disease. If that sounds like something that you want, watch the masterclass and then click the link for the free memory test and then apply for that. And then that's the beginning of the process of working with me on a one-on-one basis, is the memory test. And that's through the free masterclass. Next, please, there's 159 of you on right now, plus 5 or so on YouTube. Oh no, YouTube's spamming me. There's Sex Chat 69. Sorry, Sex Chat 69, not now. No, don't delete the message. Remove the person. Put user in timeout. All right. So I'm doing some research. I would love your help. It says 5-minute Alzheimer's research study. If you just click there and answer a few questions, I'm trying to identify some risk factors for Alzheimer's disease and memory loss. If you just go there and fill that out, the only requirement is you speak English and you're over age 25. That would be really super helpful if you would take that. And then I will share the data with you once I get 1,000 responses. I think we're close. Next is my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that. You can watch this on replay. I went over a lot of questions. That'll be helpful to you. If you're interested in women's health and you would like a free consultation with Dr. Shannon, please only sign up if you've seen the episodes with Dr. Shannon. She works with a specific type of person who wants to get their hormones in check and so forth. But Dr. Shannon's in there as well. She's amazing. My Patreon's on there. If you'd like to support the channel, if you want to support the Lion's Den, you can do that for as little as $3 and change a month. That really helps. Every Patreon really makes a big difference to me. And then I share a couple of cool things with you. Number one, I share with you where I get my aniracetam. And number two, I'm sharing with you the specific supplements I take during cold and flu season, so you can buy them while they're still available. And then at the very bottom is a free masterclass on long haul virus. This is with Dr. Linnell King from Johns Hopkins. Very smart, very attractive doctor. He's great. And so you can watch his masterclass for free. Definitely check that out. So all those are available to you. If you don't know what to do, just get the top 10 supplements and start there. That's just a guide that's really helpful to a lot of people. And if you're looking for supplements, start with that. And that'll tell you what to get and where to get them. And you can share that with someone. You share that with someone who's interested in improving their health and improving their memory. All right. Before we go, please write down in the chat what you learned and what action you are going to take. Where's the questionnaire? It's underneath my link tree. And so the link tree is underneath my profile. Does that make sense? Anyone having trouble finding these things? Julie, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Nadrier. Roar. Shilajit increases fulvic acid, and that's the main benefit of it. Eat more mushrooms. All right. What did you learn? Eat more mushrooms. Thank you. Going to buy lion's mane. Please put your first name. That'd be super helpful. You're welcome. Roar. Roar, tiger fucking queen. My YouTube channel is Robert WB Love. Same handle as my TikTok. Getting lion's mane mushrooms to eat. Awesome. Sugar craving. Try magnesium. Magnesium actually helps reduce addiction and improve sleep. Roar. Roar to you, Amanda. Going to look into your free resources. Awesome. Anything that you learned? I'm going to buy the lion's mane. Awesome. You're welcome, Barbara. Great job, Barbie. Thank you. You're welcome. Marjan says thank you. You are welcome. Roar. Roar to you. Celery juice benefits. I did not talk about that. I do celery juice first thing in the morning. It's great. It really stabilizes my mood. I'm a lot less moody, and it just feels good in my stomach. You can certainly search the specific benefits of celery juice. It's great. Callie, roar to you. Anybody else learn anything cool you want to share? Christopher, keep up the great work. God bless you. Thank you, Christopher. God bless you. Tell me, what are your thoughts on Centrum vitamins? Centrum vitamins are like a rock. I try not to pick on individual companies. I took Centrum for years. I don't know how bioavailable their supplements are. Adriana learned to take milk thistle. Awesome. Thank you for the applause. Fluoride in the toothpaste. Definitely not for children, because you don't want children to swallow it. It might be okay for adults. I use a fluoride-free toothpaste. I use Tom's of Maine. Lion's mane. You'll find it. Excellent. Learned about milk thistle. Great. Rochelle, roar. How much aniracetam daily? It depends on who's taking it. Maximum dose is 1,500 milligrams. Lion's Mane sold out? Where? Where is it sold out? Did we sell it out? It's crazy. I learned you're a badass. Why, thank you. Took notes. Choline, zinc, and lion's mane on my list now. Excellent. I drink celery juice most mornings, like 9 out of 10. Did we actually sell out? Woods Michelle, would you let me know if we sold out on Amazon? That's really interesting. Hello from Sydney. Do you fast every day? No, I do not. I do intermittent fasting, maybe half the days. Calcium magnesium supplements for Spring Valley. I don't know that company. Interested to hear more about long haul virus? Yes, watch Dr. Linnell King's masterclass. Super valuable. Why is baby water was added fluoride? I don't know. I mean, why do we put sugar at the checkout counter? America's obese. Why are we putting sugar as an impulse buy item? That's clearly a bad idea. And so just because we know it's a bad idea doesn't stop government and businesses from doing things that are harmful to people. And so, once a business stands up and says, we are not selling sugar items in the checkout counter, and once a candy company says we are not going to advertise to children, then I'll know we're in the right path. I am feeling better. Thank you, Phoenix. High sodium isn't a problem if you're drinking enough water and if you're not eating processed foods. Most of us actually don't get enough. If you don't eat processed foods, you actually want to put a fair amount of salt on your food. Is potassium in toothpaste okay? I don't know why it wouldn't be. I don't know. That's a good question. Did we sell out Lion's Mane somewhere? I didn't hear back from that. The class is free. Yes. The master classes are free. Both mine and Linnell King's are free. My Instagram handle is the same as this one, Robert W.B. Love. You can follow me there. You can message me there. Fantastic. All right. Awesome. I don't know if we're going to be on tomorrow night. We might be. It depends on how my day goes. It is in stock on Amazon. Okay, great. So thank you for being here. I really enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. This was fun, just answering a bunch of questions rapid fire. Have a wonderful night. I love you sincerely. You're awesome. It's great to be here with you. Have a great night. God bless you. I will see you tomorrow or the next day. Sleep well. And YouTube, Elisa learned 2 servings of mushrooms. Yes, great. Specifically, it doesn't matter which blend. The research said just simply 2 servings of mushrooms a week. And Patrick, yes, we'll research and apply. Great job. Awesome. Well, have a wonderful night. God bless you. See you soon.